Hello again, welcome to Grant Williams of Railway. I can't actually believe this is the 2000 sub special. I didn't ever in my wildest imagination think I'd get to 2000 subs. I only ever started this whole thing on YouTube, because I wasn't a member of YouTube. There's a way of documenting my trials and tribulations, building my own railway, sort of a diary for myself really. And it was on the 6th of July 2016 I posted my first video, how to eat an elephant, or how do you eat an elephant, and it's just snowballed since then. So 2000 subs, thank you so much. I can't believe 2000 people have subscribed to my channel, and it's not just that, but it's all the fantastic comments you get as well. I'm sure everyone who's on YouTube, you get some brilliant comments of support for everything, not just railway stuff as well, but personal stuff. So thank you so much for subscribing and commenting and liking my uploads. So in this video what I'm going to do is a little bit of a recap. I spent yesterday going through my old uploads, watching them again, cringing a bit. I read all the comments again and made some notes just to sort of summarise what I've learned so far in the couple of years I've been doing this. So here we go. Okay, first of all, Sundealer. I had so many comments about this, probably more than anything else, and I must say most of them were in the negative. Oh, you don't want to use Sundealer. And in hindsight, I understand everyone's concerns, and I know it's a difficult product. It doesn't behave like wood, well, because it's not. It's just compressed paper, basically. And it does need very carefully looking after. It doesn't like the dampness. It doesn't like if it's too dry. It doesn't like anything really. It needs a steady controlled atmosphere, and I'm fortunate enough that I've got a dehumidifier for when it's too moist, and a heater to stop it getting too cold in the winter. However, one thing it doesn't like, and this goes back to one of my early videos, you can see this here next to the track cleaner, there's a little bit of a dip in the track, and that's because you can see the join there between the two tracks. A long time ago when I was creating the baseboards, I actually put my hand here and leant on the Sundealer, and it doesn't behave like wood because it hasn't got a grain. It just stretches, basically, it deforms, and that's what created the dip. So lesson number one, don't lean on Sundealer. I understand why people don't want to use it. I think what I would do if I was doing it again, a bit like the elevated section now where I've got the Sundealer on top of some ply, what I would do if I was starting again in another layout, I would probably use 1/2 inch ply, because 1/2 inch ply is not going to deform, and put Sundealer on top of that, because Sundealer is brilliant for taking track pins. You can just push it in with a track pin tool and you can virtually pull it out with your fingers, so it's great for that. So it's not brilliant. It is obviously it's very expensive as well. While I'm down here, by the way, making the baseboard very low like I did at this level, it's only about 2 feet from the ground, this level here, and that was a bad idea. Definitely a bad idea in the loft. Going right into the corners was a bad idea. It's okay, I think, if you're young and you're fit and you're flexible, but I'm not. I'm old and I'm fat and I'm stiff, so I found it a right pain, I mean a whole world of pain, working on my knees in corners under the eaves. I've banged my head off every single joist in the loft. So yeah, that's been a world of pain. It has given me more space, edge to edge, I must be honest, but it's been some serious amount of swearing involved in it, just to get this extra space. Once again, in an ideal world, I think you'd probably make it chest height, or maybe it's a little bit lower, so you can actually stand up and work on the railway. It would be much easier. A few things which I actually find really good about the hobby. I thoroughly enjoyed designing the track with any rail. I would recommend any rail to anyone. It's a great bit of software. It's not particularly expensive. You can download it for free and try it out if you want, but it's a great bit of software. And I'm actually up to version number 62 of the layout. Every time I did a major change I saved a new version, and I actually got up to 62. That's where I am now. So I would recommend that. I love the ECOS as well. I've got the ESU's ECOS control system. I love DCC. I never used DCC before, and I read a lot of comments about people scared to use it worried about the wiring and the complexity. I would say it's as complex as you want it to be, really. A lot of guys on YouTube, they get really into it and have lots and lots of circuit boards and stuff. It doesn't have to be like that, but the flexibility that DCC gives you is brilliant. It's just fantastic being able to run so many trains and do so much with them at the same time on the same track. So it's definitely good. Something else which helped me a lot was Cobalt IP point motors. I use these on all my points. Not cheap, but if you buy them in packs, you do get them a little bit of discount, and they are worth it, because you just give them an address, a DCC address, and they work fine. I had a few problems earlier on. Keep a separate bus, I would recommend that. But generally, on the whole, they're great, and they're so easy to fit. 3 wires, the DCC connection and the frog wire, and you're in business. It's as easy as that. A couple of things about making the layout that I found. I started off wiring droppers on every single piece of track. Every piece of track has droppers on, and I eased up on that at the end. I thought it was a bit unnecessary, so the last piece of track I laid, I think there's droppers more or less every other section just about. You don't really need to put it on every single piece of track, sorry. I don't think it's necessary. It's very important though to get the wiring correct. Use the right gauge wire and the right Scotch lock connectors. I've seen some videos and some people saying they don't like Scotch lock connectors. They're not reliable. I find they're only not reliable, first of all, if you use fake ones, knockoff ones, because the width of the splice blade isn't correct for the right gauge of wire, and obviously they're not built to exacting standards. So if you use Scotch locks, it's Scotch lock 905 connector. That's what you want. They're not cheap. It's cheap to buy them in hundreds, but I did buy some off eBay, and I think they were knockoffs because they were really poor quality. I ended up throwing them away. Also, don't use solid core wire. I know some people will disagree, but solid core wire, it's not right for me on a layout. It's very inflexible. If it flexes too much, it's just going to break. So to summarise, thank you again for subscribing. 2,000 subs. I cannot believe it that I got 2,000 subs on my YouTube channel for this railway of mine, including all the mistakes and errors I've made. It's been interesting over the last couple of years. Still got lots to come. I would say if you're starting out, don't be afraid of DCC. There's no reason not to use Pico code 75 either. It's not that difficult to work with. In a lot of respects it's easier because it's a thinner gauge. And use electrofrog points. Especially if you use Cobalt IP motors, electrofrog doesn't hold any fears. It's not complicated these days, wiring electrofrog points. Now I actually love watching everyone's YouTube videos, especially like when a new person joins and they're building a railway from scratch. That's brilliant. I love to see a railway take shape, whether it's in a shed or a loft. It's lovely to see it start from scratch and build up to something. And I also take inspiration from every single person who I watch on YouTube. I've got lots and lots of people I subscribe to. I don't want to pick anyone out for favouritism, but in particular, there's the sort of 4 channels I watch a lot, and I really look forward to their videos when they update them. In no particular order, okay, and this is not favouritism, as I said. I've got to say, I'm sure everybody's seen EverardJunction, because he puts so much care into the construction. Every aspect is done in meticulous detail, and I just wish I had his sort of fortitude, if you like, his patience as well. He puts a lot of care into it. His layout before he trashed it was fantastic, and I'm enjoying him create his new layout. Similarly, Dave Class 47 up there in Scotland, he does a brilliant job, and he's done some fantastic how-to videos. I've learned a lot from Dave's layout. And then Western Centurion, I think he's been creating a fiddle yard for the last 4 years, doing a great job with that. And I just like his happy demeanour and the way he does it. He's got a great attitude towards railway modelling. And across the pond in America, because there's some fantastic American layouts, I'm really envious of the American houses with massive basements. And one such is Stephen Bennett from the Bennett Railroad. He has his entire basement as a layout, and it's stunning. The thing that I like about the Bennett Railroad is his attention to scenic details. And what he does is he tends to go out, he'll take photographs of an underpass or somewhere, or a railway line, and then he'll try and recreate it. He uses it as a basis for modelling, the grass and graffiti and everything. He puts a huge amount of detail. He's done some fantastic videos about kit bashing, and I would heartily recommend that if you're into scenic treatment. A couple of channels that are very good for how-tos, I'm sure you know these as well. Luke Towan in Australia, he's excellent. Kathy Millat as well in Britain. And I don't know if you've seen Marklin of Sweden. He's done some really, really good scratch-built projects, and I find that very inspiring. I love watching that stuff. There is dozens and dozens more, and there's dozens of people I do subscribe to who I enjoy watching their videos when they come out. Right, I think we'll leave it there. I've talked enough. Many thanks for subscribing. Still can't believe 2,000 subs. It's very humbling. I do appreciate all the comments as well. It's great, and it's a fantastic hobby we've got, and it's a brilliant community we have on YouTube as well. Everyone is so supportive. It's great, and it's great to be part of that. So next time, for the people who've been watching my channel regularly, I've been working on the goods line. Good news is it's finished. So you'll see that in the next video, which hopefully should be within the next few days. Have a great week. See you soon. Bye for now.